With me now to discuss is Ralph Goodale, former High Commissioner for Canada in the United Kingdom. Thanks for taking the time to speak to us today.
Very good to be with you.
So yesterday we saw several European leaders pushing back against the president on these tariffs. What do you make of all this, and do you see this escalating?
Well, it's an absolutely unprecedented situation, and it runs the very real risk of doing lasting damage to the NATO alliance, to the cohesion that is so important for that alliance, and the trust that underpins the cohesion. So everyone needs to tread very carefully here, because the only winner in this situation is Vladimir Putin. And he's no doubt watching very closely as there is this friction and division within the NATO alliance. Very clearly, the European leaders, well, they've already reacted promptly and clearly in the last 24 hours or so. Their foreign ministers or envoys will be meeting within the next hour to discuss how they will have a combined reaction to this. It's important that they do have a reaction to it, and that reaction is substantial and consequential. They also need to be measured and calm and focused, rational, mature in this situation, to make sure that as the adults in the room, they get to the other side of this very dangerous situation.
Right, a lot of far-reaching impact here, including the relationship between these European countries and the United States. How do you expect it to play out in terms of those relations?
I don't think we know that yet, and that is why the steps that need to be taken, particularly by the European leadership, need to be very carefully thought through, and that's undoubtedly the process that they have been going through the last 24 hours and overnight and leading into the meeting later today. They want to be unified. They want to have impact in how they propose to respond, but they also want this process to result in a solution, not an impasse. And in dealing with President Trump, it's always wise to remember how quickly he can change his mind and reverse his field and go in exactly the opposite direction to that which he was going 24 hours ago. So the response here is going to be very critical, because a schism of this nature in the NATO alliance would be a very damaging thing for the peace of the world, including for Canada. We have a very real stake in this.
We also heard the Prime Minister speaking earlier at a press conference saying that he's concerned about the U.S. escalation, adding that Canada will always support the sovereignty of Greenland. How delicate is this situation for Ottawa?
Very. We have been living with this divisive, dangerous phenomenon ever since the beginning of last year. And Canada has had to negotiate some real minefields in order to defend our sovereignty, to protect our economy, and to be able to have some kind of a decent relationship with the United States. The Prime Minister said early last year that the old relationship, as we have known it for the last 80 years, is over. And we have to rebuild something to replace it. That work is obviously ongoing, but it underscores the importance of his two key messages. Number one, we have to build an economy that is stronger and more capable than it has ever been before, and we need to diversify our trade so that we can be self-reliant and resilient. More independent and less vulnerable to the kinds of gyrations that we see coming from the United States, and which will become commonplace for a good period into the future.
All right, certainly a new era of international relations. Ralph, thank you so much.
Thank you.
This is Ralph Goodale, former High Commissioner for Canada in the United Kingdom.